for a little while. So yeah, we're gonna do a live stream. I haven't been there in a long time. We'll see if anyone shows up. Benny, your noise is pretty funny. Hey Dexter, how are you doing today? Thanks for stopping by. It keeps raining out today. I was gonna go and fish for a little while, but then it was pouring out when I get off of work, so now I'm just hanging out. So what kind of lures were you fishing with in your video, and what type of species are in that lake you were fishing? Because the type of lures probably really vary depending upon what type of species you're after there. Because like here we have like bass, walleye, and trout, pike, muskie, and northern, which all use kind of different baits to fish for. And I'm not sure about the species you have there in Malaysia. But that's you're after snakeheads. We don't have any snakeheads in Wisconsin. There's snakeheads from Florida and on the East Coast, but not many here. I do want to catch one of them once. Hey, Virginia fisherman, thanks for stopping by. So yeah, I would like to catch a snakehead at some point in time. And peacock bass. Yeah, I think you can use a variety of baits like you'd use for bass fishing. Hay-9s, Cantudio, and catfish. Do you want me to keep the rain here? It keeps raining in Tennessee too. All I know is last week we got like 8 inches of rain here over the week, and now we're getting some more rain. Like the water level just started to drop, and now we're getting more rain. So I just decided to go live because we have bullfin. Yeah, I haven't caught a bullfin in a while. I should go and try to target them or something. I was seeing on Today's Angler that they made a video where they were intentionally going after bullfin. I know if you go to like marshy areas or slack water on like sloughs of the river, you seem to catch the bullfin. Have I tried frog lures? Yeah, I've used frog lures. I think the bullfin really like the frog lures because I know some people I've seen were having their frog lures just get absolutely demolished by bullfin. I know the bullfin will also just hit at like spinner baits and crankbaits and stuff. I know I caught one on a Senko once too. That was pretty funny. So they'll eat the same stuff bass will eat. I've never eaten a snake. Had I heard that they taste good though, but I guess it really depends upon what you like to eat. I'd try one if I caught one. We just don't have any here in Wisconsin. I don't think we want them here in Wisconsin either. People would be pretty upset. Whopper plopper and buzzbait. Yeah, I don't know. I don't frog fish that much. I know you want to just like jerk and pause them in like a frog jumping on the surface. I've never fished a whopper plopper, but I have like chopper style baits for muskies. They're basically like a bigger version of the whopper plopper. The other day I bought a suicide duck surface lure too, which I'm excited to catch something on. But I just tested it out on Sunday night when I went on a Lake Monona for a little while, but I didn't catch anything there. Some say you got to reel in the frog really fast. I haven't done a whole lot of frog fishing for bass. Not much. I was just chatting with people. Thanks for stopping by, Isabel and Jaden. And we were just talking about fishing frogs for bass. Last night I was out working in my garden though. I was putting grass mulch on my onions to try to keep the weeds down last night. And I picked some of the miniature strawberries that I'm growing. I don't know. I don't know what the snakeheads are eating or whether they're eating crawfish or not. Like if the snakeheads are eating crayfish, I'd try that. But I'm not sure, Dexter. My guess is the snakehead will hit the same things bass will hit. A paddle tail, yeah. A paddle tail might work. Virginia Fisherman says a live frog. I know this is really horrible sounding, but in my pond, that's really clear. It's really fun to put a live frog on a hook, and bass will come from like 20 feet away and attack the frog. It's like the bass will be super aggressive into it, and they'll come if you put a frog on a hook. You're uploading your first frog fish? I'll watch that later. They actually work pretty well for bait, Dexter. The catfish like them too. If you put one on a sinker, like the channel catfish really like the frogs as bait too. But you also catch turtles and stuff on them. They're like everywhere along a lot of streams where there's a lot of vegetation, so that's what's swimming around. Why bass like them too. When you're fishing in a marshy lake or grassy area on the river, the frogs are a pretty popular bait, commonly in the river. It's just like if you clean a bass or a trout or a catfish, they usually just have whatever there's a ton of in the water in them that they're eating. So you're obviously going to want to imitate something that is like the bait that your fish are eating there, Dexter. Where's my chat going away? Hey, Peacock Pete. You're practice casting now, kind of like it? Not much. It was raining out, so I'm just doing a live stream. I know from fishing in all these creeks, like I've gotten really, some of those things you have so little area to cast in. I know the one creek I was fishing on Saturday, literally there was about a 2-foot wide area in the middle of the creek where you could actually cast the lure because it was so overgrown with reed canary grass. Like it was really, really tough fishing. You've never used a bait caster till now? Yeah, bait casters take some practice to get used to too. And if you're throwing light baits, they get really bad backlash or casting into the wind. I know sometimes some of the spinners I throw when I'm casting them into the wind when I'm musky fishing are. Hey, Wildlife, thanks for stopping by. You don't have to worry about the bushes around. Hey, Yakin with Sarah, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I know it's kind of funny though. Like when I go musky fishing, I just cast lures at random areas which are like open. And then when I'm like fishing in the creeks, it's like you're fishing in really tight quarters and it's all about being accurate. Sarah, that cat you caught today was huge. I can't wait to see the video of the other one you caught. That's going to be a good video. Yeah, once you get used to a bait caster, it's a lot easier. It just takes a little while to get used to, and you have to have the reel adjusted right and everything. I didn't get a bait caster till probably until I was like 18 is when I got my first bait caster, and it was like the Abu Garcia 5500. Hey, BM Outdoors, thanks for stopping by. And I don't know, I know the catfishermen like the Abu Garcia Ambassador 6500, but I've had issues with the musky fishing, but I should probably oil them more than I do. That's funny, Sir. So, is my Abu made in China? I'm not sure. I actually think I may have like 3 or 4 Abu Garcia reels. I have a couple. I think the ones I had were made in Sweden, but I'm not sure. I have one that's made in China that's broke, one of the red high profile ones. And I have a C4 Ambassador that's on one of the rods in my cars. And I have one really old C6500 that's a tank, but the spring is like broke on it to keep it shut. That's one of the ones that's made in Sweden for sure. But that reel I've had for like 8 years and used a ton. So it's taken thousands and thousands of casts. I don't between my trolling rods and my casting rods, I have so many rods I can hardly remember what reels are on some of them. So that's just how it is, I guess. I know on my trolling reels I have some Cabela's and Okuma reels. Some of the cheaper Abus are not very good reels. I know that much. Like they just wear out fast. Like I've heard pretty good reviews on whatever the one bass inexpensive the Black Max bass reels from people, or people have decent luck with them from what I've seen on YouTube. I think it all just depends upon how well you take care of them and how. And I know I'm really abusive on things. The Revo, yeah, Revos are good reels, but they're also pricey. Yeah, I think you can still get Swedish ones. Thanks for stopping by, Bill. It's raining by you too. I know. I want the river to drop down by the dam by my house because I want to go out and try catfishing for you guys. Because I need to make it. Because I know there's some big flatheads by the one dam where I was catching walleyes in the spring and sturgeon. And I just need to go out there and anchor at night and fish some cut bait and bluegills on bottom to see what I can get. I know downstream from there, when I fished a couple of weeks ago, we caught catfish that were literally this big. And I did catch a sturgeon when I. That's too bad, Bill. That really sucks that your back is out. I hope you get better soon so we can see you out fishing again. It sucks when your back is out. Good luck at the doctor tomorrow, Bill. I didn't go fishing today. I last went fishing on Saturday or Sunday, I caught a rainbow trout, a chub, and a brown trout. And I fixed my canoe and took it out on the one lake and cast it for muskies for a little while, and I didn't catch anything. And on Saturday, when I went and made the video on like how to fish trout streams, I was caught some sunfish, a whole bunch of chubs and shiners, and I probably caught like 10 brown trout and 3 brook trout. So that was fun. Your trout fishing is over. It's open till October 15th on the streams here. And I guess the Great Lakes trout fishing is open all year if we decide to fish there. And on Lake Michigan, they even have lake trout open all year because there's enough lake trout in them where they want to harvest them. I usually don't fish that much after. I usually still fish some, but I don't fish as much later in the year. Yeah, I know. I found this creek, and if you wanted to catch catfish bait, it would be the spot to go. It was just loaded with chubs and sunfish and junk. Like ones like this big too. Perfect size for catfish bait or pike bait. You keep a whole pile of them. You just gotta can't let them get too warm. I know I was gonna take like some 8 or 10 inches and float them behind a bobber for muskies too. Oh, my chat keeps cutting out. That's not. Maybe I should look it on the phone. Your water gets too hot and they die off. That happens. Like most of the creeks here are stay pretty cool. That's why our creeks are good. But some of the creeks get a little on the warm side. When the creeks get too warm, they're just full of chubs, though. So that's just how it is. What the heck? My chat keeps coming out. Like we have really good connection to groundwaters on a lot of creeks, so they usually stay relatively cool. It always rains. The area where you're at, it rains a lot, though. Huh. Why can't I read my chat on my phone? That's not. And it like keeps cutting out. Yeah, rain sucks. I know it. Like your area, or the latitude you're at, you get a lot of rain, though, Dexter. And during certain periods of days, you also get a lot of rain. Hey, food reviews. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate everyone who stops by. So, and I'm just talking about it's been raining on and off. You're like, we'll have 3 or 4 days where it's nice, and then we'll have 3 or 4 days when it rains. And it's been really strange that like we'll get a whole bunch of we'll have a couple days where it's like 70, and then we'll have a couple days where it's like 95, which kind of sucks. My chat keeps cutting in and out, so I'm not keeping up on reading the chat, although there's only like 8 people here. What the heck? Plenty of chubs, though. There's been glitches of. Hey, Rippin' Lips 57, thanks for stopping by. YouTube. Your comments are from. They're calling for rain here tomorrow on Tuesday. Yeah, I don't know. It just keeps on raining, so that's just part of life. At least I don't need to water my garden because it stays pretty. It's been staying pretty wet. I don't. YouTube's been glitchy all day, so that's just how it goes, I guess. Boy Meets Food Review. You found a secret spot by your house. That's awesome. It's fun to find secret spots and new spots. And that's one of my favorite parts about fishing is exploring and finding new spots because you never know what you'll find. And it's like you don't know if you're going to catch anything until you go and try a spot. Although sometimes you get a big old piece of humble pie where you don't catch anything, and other times you go out and catch a ton of fish. That's just why it's called fishing and not catching. I know a lot of times I like to fish for things that are more challenging to fish for too. So it's not like you always have to. No, I've fished all the trout streams in Dane County. I fished some creeks in a different county the last time I went out. So there's other counties by me. You like calling your trips catching trips? It's nice when you have those sometimes. Like sometimes you'll just catch a ton of fish. I know there's a couple times earlier this year when we were just on the crappie bite in the one lake by my house, and we caught a whole bunch of them. Like we kept like 30 of them, and we caught a bunch of bluegills too. But now if you go to that lake, like the crappies are all just suspended out on the brushy lake structure and all the logs that are out in the lake, so they're all scattered out, and like you'll troll for walleyes and catch or drift for walleyes, and you end up catching crappies. Yeah, the crappies are delicious in the spring when we're catching them. I ate some of them the other day. They're really good. Hey, Aaron V. Cox, thanks for stopping by. Walleyes, I haven't done that much walleye fishing lately. I should probably go out and actually target them one of these days too. I should just take my trolling rods and thanks for stopping by the Wyatt Life. I should just take my trolling rods out of our salmon fishing boat and put on some flicker shads and go put out 2 planer boards and troll one out the back and just drive around on Lake Wisconsin. I'll probably pick up some walleyes and some miscellaneous other fish. You think Ralph Barton was the first guy you saw catch a walleye? He has quite a few videos where he catches walleyes. The river he fishes on has a good walleye run in it, though. Yeah, that rig should work pretty well for walleyes. I usually just catch walleye. I usually just drift worms or minnows for walleyes, or I'll troll crankbaits or cast crankbaits for them. The last time we went out on the lower Wisconsin River, we didn't catch any walleyes. All we caught were 2 bass and a sturgeon and a couple little cats. But the time before that we went out there, we caught like 10 walleyes, although none of them were big enough to keep. I don't think there's many walleyes by where you guys are at, though. Like there's some walleyes and saugers in like the Kentucky River, but not many in Virginia or the Carolinas. You just caught your first yellow perch a few weeks ago. That's pretty cool, Bill, that you caught your first yellow perch a few weeks ago. I caught some yellow perch a couple weeks ago too. Oh, I will, Aaron V. Cox. I'll definitely do that. I didn't even know I don't think I'm subscribed to you, so I will go subscribe to you now. Thanks for stopping by my chat. I like the Bill Dance blooper thing that Real Ed people made too. Oh, thanks for stopping by, Dexter. I really appreciate it. You haven't caught a snakehead yet? I need a fish where there's snakehead to catch one though. Because I know my cousin who works for the DNR in Maryland was talking about catching them, but I haven't caught one before. So that's just how it is. You just gotta fish where they're at. You gotta go fish for some browns in South Utah. Utah's Utah's a beautiful state. I've only been there once. You see people catching them in DC. That's cool that you just got back from there. I see you have some videos from Utah on your channel because I just went to Arches National Park and went to a couple places. Yeah, I know. There's lots of snakes down by you, Peacock Pete. You catch some nice peacock bass too, which I would like to catch sometime. I I would like to go and travel back out there again. Since I've been a PhD student, it kind of limits how much I travel. I need to straighten out how I'm traveling to this conference in Brazil too, because I haven't done the best. I need to figure out planning all the details, and whoever I was supposed to get a hotel with was having issues getting funding to go there. So hopefully we can figure that out. If they hit and fight like smallies, they're awesome. I know the other day you want a muskie bed. They call it Arizona ahi because it's red meat. I've never tried eating a buffalo carp. I've caught them before, but I've never tried eating one. If you want to see some really weird things eaten, you should check out Tim Galatay Outdoors. He did a catch and cook the other day where they trapped mice and he like fried up the mice and ate them. Like it was just disgusting. It was the strangest catch and cook I'd ever seen. I don't even. The only reason I watched it because it was really strange. That sucks, KOI Fins Chaser. It's been flooding in a lot of areas in the Midwest. Hey, Charlene, thanks for stopping by. I need to watch some. I haven't watched one of your videos in a while, Charlene. I'll have to watch one of them too. You try the buffalo and eat it. I know I've tried sheep's head before. Oh, thanks for stopping by Nines Catudio. I've tried sheep's head before. If they're a really small one, they taste okay, and if you deep fry them, they taste okay. But if you fry it, I fried up like an 18-inch sheep's head, and it was like really rubbery and like nasty texture, and they smelled kind of funny. Sheep's head, great. No, these were freshwater drum sheep's head. How long do you think Monona would be no wake? I have no idea. I was out on Lake Monona on Sunday night, and people were still going fast out deeper. I don't think they were necessarily enforcing the rules or something. I know we've got a ton of rain. It all depends upon how much more rain we get, how much longer it'll stay no wake. I didn't buy a Dane County boat access pass this year, so haven't been out there much, but I know it was high, and for fishing, it's fine with me, other than you can't drive across the lake really fast because then you don't have all the jet skiers and skiers being all annoying driving around in the middle. It just sucks if you want to get across the 2 Mile Lake fast when it's slow no lake. Thanks for stopping by, SK. I appreciate you stopping by. And like the boat traffic on the Madison Lakes is ridiculous. All I know is on Sunday I drove by Marshall Park when I was going into my lab, and literally like the whole park area was trailers. There's probably like 100 to 200 boat trailers parked at the boat landing. Like it was absolutely ridiculous. Like it was like twice the amount of people that the parking area could hold there. Probably because that like Mendota must not be slow no lake. Just Monona and Wabiso, I think, and maybe Kaganza. I guess I haven't looked at the rules. It's the water is really high though. Hey, passion for hunting and fishing taxidermy. Thanks for stopping by. I'm doing pretty well. It was just been kind of raining off and on today, so I just decided to do a live stream. It actually stopped raining now, but I'm just chatting for a while, and then going to have dinner in a little bit. So that's what I'm up to. And talking about fishing. This weekend I might do a kayak and canoe fishing tournament in Mercer. I'm not 100% sure. They have this Caniac tournament they put on where you can keep like your 9 best panfish and 4 best game fish, and whoever has the most inches at the end of 2 days wins. We didn't do it last year, but we did it the first 2 years they did the tournament. And we didn't do that great though, but it was fun. It was really hard the last time we do it to fish because we like found where the northerns were, which we wanted to catch, but it was just too windy to cast for them because there was like a 15-mile-an-hour wind and it's hard to control it. I can kick ass, Muskie, if I'm on a good bite. It just all depends on how good of bite I'm on. It's like I haven't fished the lakes that much, so I don't know how good they are. I still need to talk with my dad about whether we're going to go or not, too. I know my dad's back's been bothering him, too, so it'll probably be a little rough for him to sit in a canoe forever. But it'll be fun. I'm getting tired. So, yeah, that's what I'm up to. I might do some Great Lakes fishing in the next couple weeks, too, again. And I think on Thursday, I'm going to go out muskie fishing for a little while. Hopefully, we'll get one. The lakes in Madison have not been treating me well. Like, I don't know if I'm just not on a pattern or what's up with that, but I just haven't caught much on them. I've had a few follows. On Sunday, I did have. Oh, I'll check it out. You caught 8 walleye on a lake trout? That's pretty good, Passion. I haven't caught a lake trout yet this year. I'm surprised. I don't know how we haven't caught one trolling out of Lake Michigan yet, actually. The only thing we've caught out there this year was one brown and like 8 coho and a little king. If we go up to Lake Superior, we'll probably get some lake trout. We should be getting them on Lake Michigan too, though. But I just haven't caught them yet. I've been catch. I can catch lots of walleyes if I go and target them by me, but they're just all small. I don't. The one day we caught 4 cohos out when we went on to Milwaukee in my smaller boat. My boat I usually have in my videos, but I went out way farther than I like to go in my boats because the fish were up in like 50 feet, and then it got hot out and it pushed the fish out deeper, and they were in like 150 feet of water. So, and I think that's like 6 or 8 miles out of Milwaukee, 150 feet of water. So if the fish are in like 40 or 60 feet of water, you could get them with a small boat. But if they're in like 150 or 200 feet of water, which is where the steelhead and coho are at there now, you would have to go out quite a ways to get to them. You could do it. It just depends upon how wavy it is and breezy. We've had a lot of east winds though, so the Wisconsin shoreline has really been really choppy. So you got to watch the weather before you go out deep. The harbors, the bait's not in right now. That's the only problem is there's like nothing in the harbors right now. If we could get, if the wind was blowing the opposite direction of what it has been, there would probably be some browns and kings holding it right out from the harbors because our shoreline would be cool. But because we've had all these east winds, that all the warm water is blowing to the Wisconsin side, so the amount of fish by shore is not very many right now. Yeah, if we get a wind direction shift, we could do well. We just need the water temps right and bait to be in there for the fishing to be good. The trout are out completely related to temperature though and bait. So where there's like water temps in the mid 50s and bait is where the trout are going to be at. And obviously not the water everywhere doesn't stay that cold all year, but like the trout and salmon want to be in water temps that are like 55. And so do the alewife, so that's where they'll be at. And like even in the creeks, like some of the creeks that you fish are 75 degrees in the summer, and there won't be many trout that are biting in those creeks. But where there's springs that go into the creeks or feeders to the creeks that are cold, they will be colder. Yeah, I have one fly rod and like 30 flies. I actually was going to post a video where I was fly fishing, but all I caught on my fly rod was some common shiners and creek chubs and sunfish. That's cool, Lubaka, that you signed up for a vidIQ. Fly fishing takes a little practice. Only one of the creeks that I tried on Saturday I actually liked was actually decent for fly fishing too, though. The other one was like 2 feet wide and like all reed canary grass. And like unless you just drop your fly into the creek, you can't really do a whole lot fishing a creek like that. You can literally like just like vertically drop baits down into it and let them drift in the current in the little area that's open. It's pretty tough to actually like use your fly rod effectively in. Like if you have wide streams that are shallow with like a lot of ripples, it's perfect for fly fishing. So if you have streams that just like slowly drop off, but you can wade into nice and are open, they're perfect for fly fishing. But live hoppers, I've never tried using live hoppers for. Yeah, it just takes practice to get the hang of it. It's just like anything. It's just like using a bait cast. You need to practice to get good at it. I know I always hook into a lot of trees with my fly rod on a lot of the creeks I fish. Because I'm not perfect at it. And I'm not as good at controlling how I cast the fly rod. There's definitely plenty of the spots that I fish that are wide open that are easy to fish too. Yeah, I've watched some of your fly fishing videos, Zabaka. It's a lot of people in this state fly fish hardcore in like March and April before everything starts to grow. And I've noticed from my trout fishing excursions that like they have a catch and release season that goes from the start of January through the opening of the regular season and the start of May. Yeah. Oh, I'll send you a message on Instagram, Lubaka. 22 DMAC. I agree with you, but I was just saying, like, the best fishing rod for fly fishing. I'm not a fly fishing expert at all, so I don't know exactly what rod you have. But like in March and April, before the reed canary grass and other vegetation starts to grow and everything's beaten down from the winter. Like all the fly fishing are out hardcore, and you'll see on like Mount Vernon or Black Earth Creek that a ton of people, like a couple people at every bridge fly fishing. And once the regular season opens where you can actually keep trout, there's fewer people out trout fishing. Like I can drive around and look at creeks for like 8 hours and I'll see like one or two other people fishing at like 5 miles of creek that are public fishing area. But a lot of the creeks are so overgrown, all you could do is literally drop a fly in it to them or a worm and let it drift downstream, or cast a spinner or crankbait and fish it parallel to the bank. So because they're just so grown up. But that's what happens with. Oh, thanks, Aaron. That sounds a lot of fun, like a lot of fun, Lubaka. I want to try to fish for the salmon in the stream. Yeah, I agree with you, 22. D-Mac, that's a lot easier to use a short rod, like what I said in my video I did the other day. Like, that's a lot easier for close quarters fishing than using a long rod. A long rod is definitely a challenge. It is pretty entertaining to watch the trout hit dry flies, although I've had very little success dry fly fishing. I appreciate you stopping by, Aaron. I'm going to watch some of your videos in a little bit. But like compared to like out west, we just have so much more vegetation growth as you head farther east, and there's more moisture. So like our creeks in Wisconsin are completely different than the creeks in Utah or Montana or various places out west. So how you can fish them, the amount of stuff you have to deal with is completely different. So everyone, thanks for stopping by. I think my food's getting close to dawn, so I'm gonna check on that. I appreciate that everyone just stopped by my live stream, and I've had fun chatting with you. I'll try to do another live stream within the next couple weeks. I'm not very good. I'm really random with when I decided to do them. So thanks to everybody who stopped by, and I appreciate it. Have a good night. I'm out.